Hi, this is India Lee, and on this episode of the podcast, we're going to dive into, for a few minutes, the path of the least inner resistance. You know, sometimes when we talk about the path of least resistance, it might sound like just taking the easy way, you know. Least resistance just kind of sounds like you're doing something without effort. But actually, when you're intentionally taking that path of the least resistance inside of yourself, oh man, it takes all the effort and focus in the world, but somehow everything just gets so much easier. Because that inner resistance really is what makes things so difficult. So I'm going to do my favorite thing right now, which is let Spirit guide what we're talking about here with the cards. So I actually have my little tarot deck, and I am going to pull cards to steer us in the direction of this conversation about inner resistance. So the first card out is the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups talks about, you know, that harmonious sense of home, that sense of being at home within yourself, that sense of everything that would make life kind of heaven on earth for you. You know, as above, so below. This is how I want things to feel. This feels so good to me, you know, without attachment to, you know, it has to be exactly this, or I can't be happy, or, you know, if something goes wrong, I won't be happy. No, it comes with this sense of flow. It comes with this sense of, you know, things are unfolding in a way that's right for me. And that is that path of least inner resistance. Now, the next card that the guides brought out here is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is the fight. It is the struggle. It is the resistance. The Five of Swords is that resistance inside of yourself. It's the card about drama. You know, it's the card about that sense of just, you know, conflict and disturbance between people. Here he's got all five swords. He's holding one up, and there are people in the background not doing so well. They've been, you know, stabbed. They've been injured. And there are also in this deck, which is the Ciro Marchetti Gilded Tarot, my favorite. Ciro Marchetti, by the way, I've got him on my dream list of guests to have on this podcast. So we'll see how that goes. His illustrations are just so rich and infused with so much magic, but realism at the same time. So in the background of this Five of Swords, you can see these little sort of illuminated spots on the battlefield. And this looks like spirit energy. And it feels like what this is saying is, when you choose to be in that spirit energy, when you choose to let that defend you, you're not going to be part of, you know, the carnage, the battle, the drama. And so it says that as you're choosing this path of least inner resistance, which many of us are doing right now, with all the shifts and changes going on, you know, as we evolve on a soul level, you might see this conflict around you. You might even feel it kind of come at you from other people, from situations. You'll be like, oh, here's some real drama fuel. You know, here's a real situation where somebody's going to get all bent out of shape, and I'm going to have to deal with that. When you shift into spirit energy, you shift into that energy of, no, I'm good. Thanks. You know, the next card out is the Star. And the Star represents that same spirit energy that we saw in the background of the battlefield. And it's saying when you choose your star path, when you choose to say, yeah, I don't actually want to participate in any of that, then you become immune to it. Now, immune to it doesn't mean you're not amidst and among it, you know. It's like regular immunity. You get a shot, and that immunity protects you, but you're still around the virus. You're still around the things that you don't want to catch. That's going to be the same way here. But as you observe and as you stay in this place of inner non-resistance, then you realize, wow, I'm shifting more energy to this light side, to this peaceful side, to this harmonious side of the teeter-totter. And as I do, that other side it's not holding as much weight anymore. And so it's being able to stay in that light and enjoy the gifts that come in, even among the conflict around you, or even among the lower vibrational stuff, without letting that drag you down. Today, Spirit's been giving me an image of Martin Luther King, and that idea of, or that, not idea, that belief, that alignment of non-resistance, non-violence. That's what we're bringing. But of course, he was so powerful in that light. He was so powerful, that the darkness got upset about it. The darkness was like, oh, we've got to do something about this powerful light. Well, at that time, the planet wasn't quite ready for the degree of light infusion and activation that's happening now. It's time, for this. And so he was definitely a pioneer and one who built the foundation, helped build the foundation for where we are now. Another phase of that soul-based revolution, the light, revolution. And now we're back in that same message of the non-resistance, the non-violence, but the holding that light powerfully. So next we have the Queen of Swords. She's very powerful. She's powerful in those boundaries. She's powerful in the truth. You staying powerful in the truth and your own personal truth, and knowing that your own personal truth is the only one you need to be concerned with, because your personal truth is connected to your soul and your guidance. Now, at times, you got the Four of Cups here. That's a card of reluctance. That's a card of, I don't really want to, So at times you may notice that when you have your clarity about, this is what I need to cut away, this is what I need to stay in my truth about, and then I will be, immune on that battlefield. You may find a little reluctance in your mind, because this means you have to go with Spirit as Spirit carries you away from situations your ego may be attached to. It means that as Spirit leads you into that peace and light and, this new dimension, this new plane of human existence, which is our first card, the Ten of Cups, the harmony, as Spirit leads you there, it requires you to let go. It requires us to let go of all those things we've been attached to that would have kept us on the battlefield. I heard this saying I really enjoyed, and I don't know where it came from, but someone said it, and it was, everything I've ever let go of had claw marks on it. It's like everything I've ever had to let go or move away from, I've clung to the last possible second. And what Spirit's asking you to do now is, out of love for yourself, out of you prioritizing your own peace and harmony and all those things that Spirit's showing you are available to you, like, go ahead and let go. Go ahead and maybe if you already let go ahead and move with the Wheel of Fortune here. Move with it as it turns, as it opens up new possibilities, new opportunities. And that means that as you do that, you will need to surrender any ways that the mind is resisting. You got the Hangman here. That's the one who is hanging upside down. He really can't do anything. And it's acknowledging that you don't have control. You don't have control over what happens or how things change when the Wheel of Fortune turns. But what you do have power and control over is your own focus. What you put your energy and thought into, which is going to be that joy, that harmony, the fact that those gifts are coming in for you, and the fact that, like this Queen of Pentacles here, you're worthy of those gifts. And it's time for you to get to receive them. And guess what? That's actually the priority. That's the priority. And if there is resistance in your own mind or with anybody else to that, that's just kind of going to have to hurt, you know? It's kind of just going to have to hurt for a minute, because it's the only way for you to move into this next level of what Spirit has in store for you. It's the only way to break out of the smaller shell of you and move into the bigger version. Here it's depicted by the Page of Swords and then the Emperor. The small self and the biggest, most aligned self. It's the only way. It's the only way. And this is between you and you, you know, the path of least inner resistance. It may be reflected by other people and situations, but this is between you and you. How have you, you know, been allowing yourself to hold yourself into the small state? And how are you choosing now to go ahead and move into that more powerful version of you? This is about you and your truth. And yes, you're going to see that truth reflected in others. You're going to see, but you know what? It's not going to be what your mind says it is. Your mind is like, oh, you're going to have to fight. Oh, you're going to have to go to war for this. No, because you're one of those illuminated, you know, pillars of spirit out there on the battlefield. You don't fight. You just hold that light. You don't, there you go. There's our mantra. I don't fight. I just hold that light. I don't fight. I just hold the light. Okay. Wow. Okay, well, that was really wonderful to experience with you. Thank you. And please reach out. Let me know how things resonate. I would love to hear from you. On Instagram, I'm India4777. And that's a good place to message me. Or you can always email india@indialee.com. And you can go to indialee.com for anything else. And we'll connect again soon.